Our employees are the backbone of BART. Trains wouldn't run without them. They are the reason that BART has made it this far and the reason we'll keep running for future generations. We are here today because of the workers past and present who have put their heart into the system. And our employees wouldn't be where they are without the strength and tremendous support of BART's unions that ensure our employees have the tools they need to do their work on a daily basis. In 50 years, we've accomplished great things that we wouldn't have been able to do without you, our riders. Thank you for celebrating our half-century milestone with us today.
All right, thank you, President Salzman. We want to ask you to pull the first item from our 1992 time capsule, and if you could describe it to the guests here what it is. And this is the time capsule that was buried for our 20th anniversary. We're going to pull items and then put new items in. Can you tell us what you pulled? Sorry. Thank you. So first, let me hold it up so folks can see it. So this undated survey marker embossed BART D for BART District helped workers align various structures, tracks, substations, you name it, during the construction of the BART system.
Without that, there'd be no BART.
And if you could place an item in the new time code, yeah. And now, of course, we have to put in there a clipper card, which is now the way to get around on BART and every transit agency.
But is it 50% off the senior? 50% off the senior. We're paying like
So now I'd like to introduce someone who has long worked to strengthen workers' rights at BART and around the Bay Area. He's the president of Amalgamated Transit Union Local 1555, which represents our train operators, station agents, and power workers. Welcome ATU President Jesse Hunt.
Good afternoon. Today, on behalf of the approximately 3,000 labor representative employees at BART, I proudly congratulate the BART system on its 50 years of service to the Bay Area. This is unquestionably a milestone worth recognizing. These first 50 years have included many trials for BART, its labor force, and the Bay Area. In 1979, we suffered the tragedy of the Transbay Tube fire. In 1989, we all went through the quake, where BART was able to serve as a vital lifeline across the Bay after the collapse of a section of the Bay Bridge. Our workers stepped up and immediately volunteered to work extra hours in order to run the 24-hour service necessary while the bridge was repaired. In the mid-90s, the first expansion of the BART system began, ultimately to San Francisco Airport, Pittsburgh Bay Point, and to Dublin Pleasanton. In the last 5 years, we've successfully extended out to Antioch and south to Berryessa. Through all of these, BART has persevered through each of these challenges, though none like that of the last 2.5 years. Navigating the pandemic, its impact on our system, our workers, and on our riders. I applaud General Manager Bob Powers and his staff for seeing the value in partnering with labor through these latest unprecedented times. We aren't all the way through yet, but we're on the road to recovery. We still have struggles to face, from funding and ridership levels to safety and security, and now, like so many other agencies and businesses, we are short-staffed and workers are once again giving many extra hours in service to BART in the Bay Area, missing meals and giving time off with their loved ones. These challenges could not have been overcome without those who recognize the need and value for transit across the Bay Area, our legislators, politicians, transit advocates, and allies. And most importantly, not without the dedication and sacrifice of the workers here at BART. We must give recognition to all of our agents, operators, and forworkers, all of our brothers and sisters in maintenance and clerical, the mechanics, the electricians, system service, and utilities, all those that maintain and repair the system, everyone in track and structures and grounds, all those in power and support and planning and professional, our scheduling, communications, and engineers, to the officers and dispatchers and controllers and trainers. Truly too many to call out them all. But to all those who have moved on and to those still here, we recognition to the many, many hundreds, in fact thousands of workers over the last 5 decades who have kept BART running and brought us to this 50-year celebration. With all of this, BART is well poised to take on the challenge of the next 50 years. In closing, I'd like to take just a moment to join with the District Chief Transportation Officer Roy Aguilera in recognizing a 50-year member of ATU, Senior Operations Forwarder Donald Orth. Mr. Orth will be celebrating his 50th year at BART next month, and I understand retiring shortly thereafter. Mr. Orth has been a standard bearer in all he did at BART, working throughout the system, a consummate professional, a positive force, and a well-respected leader. Thank you, Don. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jesse. It's a pleasure to be the Chief Transportation Officer, to be here to celebrate BART's 50th anniversary and the hard work of our frontline employees. Without them, we couldn't provide the transportation we provide today. And Don Orth, Senior Operations Forwarder, I want to present a bookend for our 50 years of great, fabulous service.
BART has made a good life for me. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Now, if you could stand by, we'd like for you to pull an item from the 1992 time capsule, and Michelle Robertson with our communications team is here to help us too, so thank you. And if you can tell us what you pulled.
So these are the first labor agreements. The first contracts of BART, 1973. Very valuable. And so these are some of the new, the Fleet of the Future socks going into the time capsule for the next 30 years.
Thank you, Jess. By the way, I forgot to note that the new time capsule will be opened in, let's see, the year 2047. I'll be out of town that day. And now, we have a special message from someone near and dear to the Bay Area who couldn't make it in person today, but she wanted to say something about our 50th anniversary. Take a look at the screen.
Hello, everyone. As Speaker of the House, it is my great privilege to bring greetings from the Congress to BART's 50th anniversary celebration. For half a century, BART has been a model for the nation, dutifully serving millions of riders and tying the Bay Area closer together. Let us applaud Bob Powers, the Board of Directors, and the thousands of hardworking public servants who keep our region on the move every day. As a proud representative of San Francisco, I'm especially grateful to our city's 3 directors, Latifah Simon, Janice Lee, and Bevan Duffy, and extend congratulations to all of our tireless directors. Through your devoted service, BART has helped build the Bay Area into a world-class metropolis, getting parents to work and students to school, raising our air quality and lowering our commute times. The Bay Area's congressional delegation is proud to be your voice in the Capitol, fighting for the federal resources you need to thrive. Over the last 2 years, House Democrats have proudly delivered $1.4 billion to support through the pandemic, saving jobs and safeguarding your essential service. Through our bipartisan infrastructure law, we are investing an additional $4.5 billion in railways, highways, and public transit across the Bay Area. As you set your sights even higher, House Democrats will continue working alongside BART to build a brighter, greener future. Best wishes for a lovely celebration and another 50 years of service to our beloved Bay Area. Our hopes are riding on you. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker Pelosi. And now we welcome to the microphone the longtime community organizer and an advocate for working people. She is an Oakland City Council president. She is the Oakland City Council president who represents District 2, which will include Lake Merritt, by the way. Nikki Fortunato Boss. Nikki?
Good afternoon. It is so amazing to be here today. On behalf of the City of Oakland, on behalf of the Oakland City Council, I want to say congratulations, BART, to 50 golden years to serving Oakland and our entire region with such important transit services. And I also want to welcome you to this Lake Merritt BART station. This station is in the heart of the district I represent, District 2. We are here with Laney College behind us, Chinatown in front of us. We have a renovation happening of our Kaiser Convention Center, East Lake, and Brooklyn Basin to the west. This is a central place for Oakland, and with the decision that you made on Thursday to approve transit-oriented development here, we are so excited that in 50 years this will be an active space with mixed-use housing and affordable housing, with commercial space. Our parks will be even more active, and it's a wonderful vision to have as we celebrate 50 years today and look forward to 50 more. So thank you.
Thank you, President Fortunato.
Nikki, thank you, but your job is not done. You've got to pick something out of the time capsule.
All right, so this is a VHS tape. I'm sure some of you are old enough to remember these. This is from 1991, and this chronicles the construction of the expansion for, I believe, West Dublin and Pittsburgh Bay Point. So, here we are. Okay. And we will be putting into our time capsule this poster, Not One More Girl. This is a project that was launched by BART's communications team last year, together with a host of community organizations, and a very, very important campaign that chronicles the experiences of girls, of gender-expansive youth, in the first, I believe the first campaign highlighting sexual harassment prevention. So very, very important and timely. Congratulations, BART.
Thank you so much, President Fortunato Bass. Our next speaker was first elected to the BART Board of Directors in 2010. He represents Alameda and parts of Oakland and San Leandro. He is a true champion of transit and regional transportation planning. Please give a warm welcome to BART Board Director Robert Rayburn.
We're holding our celebration here at Lake Merritt Station because it truly symbolizes BART's past and future. For most of BART's 50 years, our headquarters were located here. Our operations center is here. Our very first trains ran through this station. Oakland has always been the heart of our system. The flags are back flying above the plaza, symbolizing our pride in resurrecting this station as a center of BART. The Lake Merritt Station is an example of our great future. We have plans to revitalize this area above the station with transit-oriented development to create an exciting Oakland Chinatown hub for housing, retail, and activities. Soon, the ground you're standing on will be under construction, ushering in a new era for BART in this great city. Like the Bay Area, BART is dynamic and constantly growing and evolving. Long before the dot-com boom, the birth of Silicon Valley, BART was the leading edge of technology. We were the first public transportation system that was run by computers, like those that ran the Saturn V rocket. In fact, before BART, the only electrified system you could ride in California was the monorail in Disneyland. Now, the most efficient electric vehicle in the state of California is a 10-car BART train. And there's more. The electricity for those trains is now 100% renewable. Woo! When we opened, then President Nixon described BART as a space-age system, and we continue to be the future, thanks to, in part, to efforts like the Transbay Corridor Core Capacity Program. This program will expand BART capacity by running trains more frequently with shorter headways through the installation of 5 new power substations now underway, and through a communications-based train control system that will allow us to run trains closer together. We were the future in 1972, and we are the future in 2022. Thank you, everyone who have been along for the ride. Riders, BART workers, and those volunteers who are so critical to advising the BART board. I trust the future generations will build upon what you have created. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Rayburn. I'm going to hand you this microphone.
And if you could please pull an item from our 1992 time capsule and tell us what it is.
A vintage BART ticket from the very first day. I have to put in the 2022 time capsule a BART 50th anniversary t-shirt, and I wouldn't be Robert Rayburn without also including a bicycle leg band. Thank you, everyone. It's my honor to introduce somebody who speaks for me. Barbara Lee, Congresswoman for the Oakland area, has been a champion for BART for many years. Let's hear from Barbara.
Hello, I'm Congresswoman Barbara Lee, and I proudly represent California's beautiful 13th Congressional District. It is my pleasure to congratulate Bay Area Rapid Transit on its 50th anniversary. That's 50 years of equitable, effective transportation. 50 years of making sure people get where they need to go. And yes, 50 years of providing people in the Bay Area with reliable, safe, and efficient service. I'm so proud of the growth that this district has seen over the past few decades. A large part of that has been thanks to BART. My office is proud to consistently support. Let me just say it has been an eventful weekend for Bay Area transportation. Yesterday, I had the privilege of welcoming Secretary Pete Buttigieg to our district to visit key transportation projects and meet with community leaders. We discussed our work on the Fruitvale Transit Village, which is a model transport-oriented development across the nation, and the Oakland Airport Connect, which has brought greater ease for BART travelers going to the airport. I'm especially proud of the core capacity solar projects that will make BART more reliable, convenient, and comfortable. And of course, the 19th Street Station modernization, which is on the verge of completion finally this fall. Part of our work doesn't end here. It's imperative that we continue our fellow support of BART as well. These efforts continue to advocate for public transit across the country. Investing in BART and other transit systems across the country is vital to advancing our goal of racial equity. As the COVID-19 pandemic showed us, our communities are nothing without essential workers, many of whom rely on public transit. Low-income individuals, people of color, and many others make up the core ridership of BART. We cannot leave anyone behind. The BART system is essential to providing social and economic mobility and ensuring communities have access to the many opportunities the Bay Area has to offer. We must continue to support BART's continued effort to connect our communities and to provide equitable service to everyone in the Bay Area. Thank you to BART for inviting me to speak on all of the accomplishments we have made in the last 50 years. I am wishing BART the best on its next 50 years and beyond. Thank you again.
Thank you, Congresswoman Barbara Lee, for that message. Now I'd like to introduce someone who has over a quarter-century experience in public transit in the public transit industry. As the Federal Transit Administrator, Region 9 Administrator, he oversees the delivery of 25 billion FTA program dollars and has worked closely with officials in many levels of government. Please welcome Ray Tellis.
Good afternoon, Oakland. Certainly glad to be here. First of all, I really want to recognize and acknowledge the BART Board Chair and the directors here, the council members here, the congressional office representatives, supervisors, mayors, former mayors, and Bob Powers and his team for the visionary leadership that it has taken to support public transportation in California. It cannot be overstated. So on behalf of the FTA, the Federal Transit Administration Administrator, Gloria Fernandez, certainly I am pleased to be here with you today as you celebrate this milestone. For half a century, BART has provided fast, reliable public transportation to help Bay Area residents and visitors to get where they need to go. And that is just remarkable. BART's track record speaks for itself, with the system carrying up to 425,000 riders a single day prior to the pandemic and creeping up now and carrying today 165,000 riders. It is the means of transportation to work, to school, to healthcare appointments, to visit friends and family, and these are all very, very important connections. And it is encouraging to see all of the folks here, including the Lake Merritt station, that ride BART on a daily basis. I also want to extend thanks to the BART's frontline staff. We greatly appreciate the work you do to keep San Francisco moving safe and efficiently. You have a direct impact on people's lives, and BART helps everyone travel, regardless of whether you can or cannot, or regardless if you choose to drive your car. BART still helps this area get people around. In that context, and it was measured today, I want to thank the frontline workers. While many of us stayed home during the early days of the pandemic, it was the BART transit workers and the team here at BART that stood up to maintain the lifeline service, to get people to hospitals, to get medical workers to treat others, to get the groceries, for a quality of life. They stood up, and the American people will recognize and appreciate them, as does the Secretary of Transportation and I for the courage they did to serve the American people during those days of the pandemic. So I want to talk briefly about the extent of the bipartisan infrastructure law passed by President Biden in terms of the extent of the funding for transit. $108 billion, the most funding for transit in the history of transit. So we look forward to working with you, Bob, you and your team, and BART, and supporting you for many, many years to come. And now it's my honor and privilege to introduce the video with our Secretary of Transportation, Secretary Pete Buttigieg, somebody who believes and gets transit and was unable to attend today but wants to send his congratulations and best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you, Administrator Tellis, for that introduction, and thank you all for inviting me to share a few words as we mark the 50th anniversary of the Bay Area Rapid Transit System. BART's enduring and vital role reflects the essential role of transit and your important work. It's because of that work that Bay Area residents today couldn't imagine life without BART. Yet on this, its 50th birthday, it's worth remembering that getting BART built in the first place was something of a miracle. In the early 20th century, the idea of a miles-long underwater train tunnel was viewed in many quarters as far-fetched at best. In the early stages, different counties fought over the plans for BART. Engineers questioned whether it was even possible, and public pressure forced changes to station plans at nearly every step along the way. But in the end, the project succeeded, making history in many ways. Back then, Bay Area residents were grappling with some challenges that might sound familiar today. A fast-growing population thanks to booming industries, mounting traffic and congestion owing to the rise of the automobile and the birth of American car culture. So, 50 years ago, voters approved the plan for this revolutionary transit system with a 60% majority, surprising many of the pundits and commentators at the time. Those voters understood something that has been vindicated time and time again in communities of all sizes, that investing in public transit pays off. Thanks to President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law, we are making investments of historic proportions in transit and transportation, including right here in the Bay Area. We're delivering transportation projects that will make it safer, faster, and more affordable for people to get around. Projects that will help people work the jobs they want and spend more time with the people they love. Projects that will help fight the climate crisis and advance racial equity. In other words, visions like those that originally brought us BART, whose 50th anniversary we're celebrating today. I'm looking forward to working with leaders in this community to help make sure that the next 50 years for BART and for transportation and transit across California are better than ever. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of this celebration.
Administrator Tellis, you have planned as we rope you into the capsule. Can we have you pull an item from our 1992 capsule?
Thank you for this privilege. It's certainly exciting. So I believe, oh, very, very nice. What we have here are employee signatures related to all of the BART projects over this course of 50 years. Congratulations.
Thank you. And if you could place an item for us.
Okay, here we have a resolution from the 20th anniversary. Oh, this is from the 20th anniversary. Yeah, it says that right here. The resolution from the 20th anniversary of BART. Congratulations again. Looking forward to many, many more years to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for that video, Secretary Buttigieg. Now we invite to the podium members of our state delegation, Senator Bob Wykowski, Assembly Member Phil Ting, and Special Advisor to Board of Equalization Chair Malia Cohen. Thank you all for coming to present the resolutions. That is Hasib Emran for Malia Cohen's.
On behalf of all the state legislators, present and former, we want to congratulate BART on the occasion of the 50th anniversary. I have a couple of resolutions here. One for those who are represented on the BART board, the other for those who are not represented but service. That's just my joke. I'm supposed to cover for Willie Brown. Willie did not sneak into this affair. Everybody said, you know, Willie made a Willie Brown sort of entrance, but he had to leave to go out all places of Fairfield. There's a gubernatorial candidate from Maryland, Westmore, who probably is going to win. Nice Democratic candidate. So Willie wanted to extend his best wishes for them. He asked me if the state could drop $1 billion check into the time capsule. I said, this is not church, Willie. This is not church. So on behalf of the state of California, we have a resolution from the Bay Area delegation on this occasion, and another from the unrepresented chapter of the BART service area. So congratulations, BART. And Rebecca, these are for you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Excited to be here. Happy 50th anniversary, BART. My name is Hasib Emran. I'm an attorney and advisor for Chair Malia Cohen, Chair of the California State Board of Equalization. She couldn't be here today, but she extends her best wishes to BART as we celebrate this incredible and historic milestone. For myself, I have a very personal history of BART. From those midnight BART rides at 6 a.m. back on the train, I wouldn't have made it through college and law school without relying on BART as my backbone. So I have this resolution here, and I wanted to read off the last two prongs. Whereas BART has shaped the way people live, work, and play in the Bay Area, which is home to more than 7.5 million residents. BART's vision to support a sustainable and prosperous region by connecting communities with seamless mobility reinforces the idea that well-connected, car-free transit is critically important in the success and future of the Bay Area. Therefore, be it resolved, the Honorable Malia M. Cohen, Chair of the California State Board of Equalization, recognizes the Bay Area Rapid Transit for 50 years of exceptional service to the people of the San Francisco Bay Area. Thank you, everyone. God bless, and God bless BART.
Thank you so much, Senator Wachowski and Mr. Emran. Well, BART knows the way to San Jose is Sam Liccardo. He has been one of the biggest advocates for extending our system into San Jose, which we accomplished last year and continue to build upon. Not only does he lead the great city of San Jose, but he's also an MTC commissioner, and he's on the VTA board of directors. So please give a warm welcome to San Jose Mayor Sam Liccardo.
All right, happy 50th birthday, BART! I want y'all to know you don't look a day over 29. I am thrilled to be here with all of you to celebrate this milestone, and we know it only gets to 50 years because of people, because of partners, and because of persistence. And I always start with the people. I just had a chance to talk to Ralph, who's been working for BART for 10 years. I want to say thank you to each one of you who every day wake up thinking about how you can help us move throughout the Bay Area. Let's give a round of applause for all of our BART employees. It is persistence as well. We know this has been a tough time for transit here in the Bay Area and really throughout the world. Give you a little heads up about one of the items we'll be putting into the box. This is a remnant. It says VTA BART Silicon Valley Berryessa Extension. We've been wearing a lot of these lately, and we hope that 50 years from now, folks will look quaintly at the day when we all had to wear these. We hope that will be a day of the past, but this is a symbol of the persistence of so many of our frontline workers and so many of those who are continuing to build and expand BART in these very challenging times, this pandemic. And finally, it's about partners. Really appreciate Bob Power's leadership at BART, reaching out to partners. I'm here with Carolyn Gannott, who's our head of VTA, who's doing an amazing job. Thank you, Carolyn. And I'm grateful that we have so many great partners on this effort to bring BART into the future, to expand it southward. Really thrilled to see Ray Tellis here from FTA, Jim Wonderman at the Bay Area Council, all the leadership partners that we have throughout the Bay Area who have been pushing to get BART from these wonderful cities here in the north to the largest city in the south, San Jose. We're thrilled to celebrate the opening in 2020 in the Berryessa North San Jose station. We're going to keep on building all the way to downtown and on to Santa Clara, carrying more than 100,000 daily riders. We are thrilled to see BART continue to expand in my neighborhood so we can all together be a closer neighborhood here in the Bay Area. Thank you to each one of you for being a part of that. With that, let's get on with the celebration.
Okay, we're going to have a time capsule item for you to pull.
Thank you, Sam. One more job to do, and we'll see you in San Jose.
All right, let's see how many people have read this already. This is the 1971-72, the first year of BART's operation, 72. The annual report. It looks a little thin that year. I don't think they had as many riders as today. Fair to say this year's version is a little thicker, right, Bob? All right, so in addition to the space mask, we'll also be adding an important, thank you. We'll also be including an important photo about BART's future. This was taken at the ribbon cutting of the expansion of BART into San Jose just 2 years ago, and we look forward to continuing to see BART expand to bring all of us closer together. Thank you.
Thank you again, Mayor. Our next speaker represents District 8 of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. In addition to serving as chair of the San Francisco County Transportation Authority Board, please welcome Raphael Mendelman. Raphael?
Good afternoon, everybody. This is a long program, but you are almost done. We've got 3 more of us. I am Raphael Mandelman. I do represent District 8 on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, and I think I am here because I'm chair of our County Transportation Authority. Happy 50th birthday, BART! Congratulations to a great general manager, Bob Powers. It has been great to work with you. Congratulations, President Saltzman. And thank you and congratulations to our BART directors. I know Janice Lee is out there chatting up a storm. Bevan Dufty, Latifah Simon, and I think we have some former San Francisco directors here, Tom Radulovich, Mike Bernick, and even Quentin Kopp is somewhere around, which is amazing. So the County Transportation Authority in San Francisco's main responsibility is to allocate local, state, and federal funding to a variety of transportation and transit investments, as well as providing long-range planning for transportation infrastructure. We are ably led in that effort by Tilly Chang, our executive director, who's here, and Tilly is amazing. Aw, Tilly. And then we also have the man lovingly known as Transit Daddy in San Francisco, Jeff Tumlin, is out there. I'm going to share a little bit about what BART means to San Francisco. First and foremost, it is key to our economy and our workforce. About 3/4 of our downtown office space is within half a mile of a BART station, and pre-pandemic, BART transported more than 250,000 people every day into and out of San Francisco. Simply put, it is hard to imagine San Francisco as the regional economic engine and job center that it has become without BART. But BART is also a local transit service for many San Franciscans, especially those living in some of the neighborhoods I represent, Glen Park, Noe Valley, and the Mission neighborhoods. Pre-pandemic, over 50,000 people took BART entirely within San Francisco every day, which is about 10% of our daily muni ridership. So BART covers an important chunk of our daily transit needs in San Francisco. And of course, it also connects people from around the Bay Area to major events in San Francisco like Pride and Fleet Week, as well as our museums, our theaters, and our venues. And then this maybe goes without saying after this extremely hot week, but at this time of climate change, we know that our transportation sector is the #1 source of greenhouse gas emissions in San Francisco, and I think throughout the Bay Area. And quite simply, Without a reliable and robust public transit system, both regional and local, we are not going to be able to turn the corner on climate change. So that's just a few of the many reasons that transit matters and why BART matters, especially now that BART trains are running on 100% greenhouse gas-free electricity. So we in San Francisco have been proud to support BART, and I know BART will continue to be a critical investment in our daily lives and our future. Over the years, San Francisco has allocated tens of millions of dollars to BART station modernization efforts like improved elevators and escalators, bike lockers, and new fare gates. And now I'm going to make a shameless plug for a ballot measure that is on the ballot in San Francisco this November, Prop L, a renewal of our local half-cent sales tax. That measure, if approved, would generate more than $150 million for BART capacity enhancements and maintenance over the next 50 years. So if you love BART and you live in San Francisco, or if you are one of our many partners or partners of our transit agencies throughout the Bay Area, it is time to step up and get this thing passed. We know we had a little stumble in June in San Francisco with our Muni bond, and we cannot stumble again. So we got to get this over the finish line. Yes on L, and happy BART birthday again. Here I go. I'm going to the time capsule. I am reaching in. I am picking up this. And it is an inspection of the Transbay Tube earthquake joints after the Loma Prieta earthquake on October 17, 1989, with photographs of the inspection. Fun fact, that was my 16th birthday. All right, and then I'm supposed to put this in, right? I think this was a little profiling for the gay supervisor from San Francisco, but this is a BART Pride sticker, which I am honored and delighted. Go queers, go BART. And I'll get off the stage before they give me the hook.
Thank you so much, Supervisor Mandalay. All right, next to the podium is an Orinda Council member who is also a current member and past chair of the Metropolitan Transportation Commission, where she represents all 9 of the Bay Area counties. Please join me in welcoming Orinda Council member Amy Worth.
Thank you so much for this great honor in joining today's celebration for BART's 50th anniversary. As the Contra Costa City's representative on the Metropolitan Transportation Commission, it is my great joy and privilege to celebrate BART today. You know, it's been an honor to work with the many individuals with BART over the decades to build transit mobility for our residents throughout the Bay Area. And I'm also really pleased to be joined by my colleagues on the Transportation Commission, Federal Glover, Gina Pappen, and Sam Liccardo. And as you know, the MTC cares deeply about BART, about its financial stability, its service to our region, and ensuring that BART has the funding it needs to operate this wonderful system. So I feel that this birthday is like a birthday of an old friend. Coming to Berkeley and college in 1971, I remember getting off the F bus at Shattuck Avenue and seeing the BART construction as I walked up to my dorm. And today I feel so fortunate to live in a community that's served by a BART station. My mother always said, celebrate the victories. And building BART was a tremendous victory for the Bay Area. I'm particularly proud of the role that Contra Costa County played in BART's beginnings. Originally envisioned as a 5-county system, thanks to the writing of Mike Healy and Gail Murray, we know that as San Mateo and Marin County pulled out of the BART agreement, Contra Costa was critical in BART's future. We are grateful to the Contra Costa Supervisor, Joe Silva, who took the courageous vote to support BART, which was affirmed by Contra Costa voters at the subsequent election. BART has given much to the Bay Area and has had a tremendously positive impact on the communities it serves. Its close working relationships and service links with the bus transit agencies throughout its service area have spread regional transit far beyond the BART lines and offered mobility and access to millions of riders over the decades. BART has supported communities hosting stations, each unique, reflecting the local community. When I think of community revitalization around BART, such as the Contra Costa Transit Center-oriented development, which provides jobs, housing, retail, and recreation. The Fruit Belt Transit community, with its rich cultural traditions and festivals, as well as the new Transbay Transit Center, linking transit to vital job centers. I see the vision of the future of what BART will continue to do for our communities. BART is also essential to our future environmental and economic health for our region and the prosperity of our residents. To quote John King from his recent article on BART's 50th anniversary, BART has reinforced the notion that well-connected region matters, that a strong set of transportation options can continue to allow communities to evolve and be revitalized in ways that cars don't allow. So there's no doubt that BART and our transit agencies face serious challenges as we recover from the impacts of the pandemic in the Bay Area. Through the work of the MTC's Blue Ribbon Task Force, we are reminded of the tremendous role that transit plays in the Bay Area and the risks facing its future. It is imperative that we in the Bay Area work together with the state of California and the federal government to ensure that BART and all of our transit agencies have the resources needed to enable them to continue to serve the mobility needs of the Bay Area. So happy birthday to BART, and thank you to all the individuals throughout the organization over the decades who envisioned, built, and operate BART. So today I raise my Clipper card to celebrate BART and to say thank you for 50 years of incredible service to the people of the Bay Area.
Thank you, Councilmember Wood. And we're going to pull you into our time capsule.
Thank you, Amy. You have another, also like the others, you have a little job to do over here.
Terrific. So I get to take, I'm very excited, I get to pull out a sample of dirt. And as you know, one of the things that's so important to Contra Costa County is the tunnel that connects Alameda and Contra Costa County on the BART line. So what a great accomplishment. So it's my pleasure to take that and hand it to you. And you know, I love all the things that BART does, the jackets, the socks, the shirts, I have them all at home. So here is a mask illustrating the BART line. Over 25 years, Rochambeau has worked exclusively with Bay Area garment shops to produce our custom volleyball gear. So thankful to assist them in their work, to supply unique, necessary items, and to add a little fun in a stressful time. So what a perfect mask. If you need to know where to go and you want to be safe, you wear your mask on BART and have a map also. Thank you.
Amy, thank you. By the way, she was right about Joe Silva. Without his vote in the spring of 1962, there'd probably be no BART today. One vote made all the difference. Anyway, now I want to welcome a leader dedicated to making the Bay Area more sustainable, innovative, and transit-friendly. Please give a warm welcome to President and CEO of the Bay Area Council, Jim Wunderman.
All right, we're winding it down a little bit, little by little, to get there. How's everybody doing? This is a nice, upbeat event. Really, really, really great to be in Oakland to celebrate BART. So thank everyone. Thanks Mr. Powers for your leadership, President Salzman, the members of the BART board, BART workers, the BART team, and all the supporters. It's really great to be here. An honor to celebrate BART's 50th anniversary. So Mike mentioned that I represent the Bay Area Council, which is the region's major business association, but there's more to the story of the Bay Area Council and BART than just that. BART holds a very, very special place in the history of the Bay Area Council, which was founded in 1945. And in 1946, the Bay Area Council produced and envisioned building an electric rail tunnel under the bay, addressing growing traffic on the Bay Bridge to provide the connections and mobility that at that time, post-World War II, growing region would need. 5 years after that, in 1951, the Bay Area Council funded a more in-depth and formal study of the concept. And we authored and advocated for the legislation that created the Bay Area Rapid Transit Commission in 1951. Who besides Healy remembers all this? You should read his book, because it's all in there. And history is important, because we learn from it. And so the rest, as they do say, is history. Over its 5 decades of operation, BART has served our region admirably and reliably through all of our ups and downs. It's become part of us. It's part of our regional identity, and a major reason for the economic success of the Bay Area. Of course, this has made the last 2 years especially difficult as the global pandemic decimated BART's ridership, and we've seen this tectonic shift to remote work, which has kept the numbers really low, and who could have predicted this? So we're really in a new age now with a new set of challenges. But as the San Francisco Chronicle noted in a story this week, at every turn, BART has persevered. It's persevered because of leaders like you working together to overcome our collective shared challenges. So it's in that spirit that we now must look ahead to how we can work as a region together, as cities, as counties, as educators, as employers, as public workers, and especially as our riders to ensure BART's future for another 50 years. It's not going to be easy. There are a lot of unknowns right now, and there's a lot of uncertainty. It's going to take all of our creativity, our resourcefulness, and our ingenuity. But as a true believer in the power of regionalism and the power of this great region, I know we're up to this challenge. I know because it's in our heart. So congratulations, BART, on a great first 50 years, and let's work together on the next 50 and beyond. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Jim. It's now to do the time capsule.
When I think of pulling out something out of the time capsule, I think of myself more and more. So this, you've seen these. This is a circuit board that operated this operates the controls. This operated 7 switches or 7 lights that go to the Operations Control Center, the OCC, as BART likes to call them, that actually operate the system. So it was said earlier, this was the first computer-operated train system. And by the way, the first fixed rail system built after World War II. It's a lot to be proud of. A lot of ingenuity went into BART. So congratulations on all the folks who worked on that. So I was told that I was going to have to put a bunch of tweets into the future time capsule. Now, I always thought of tweets as being sort of virtual things, but apparently they've been written down. And so there's a number of, these are like BART's favorite tweets from 2022. I won't read them because you don't need any more speeches. What we need to do is, I don't know if we're drinking, but whatever we're doing, we need to get to that. So congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Wonderman. Now I'm very excited to bring up to the stage 10-year-old Calvin from San Francisco and 7-year-old Charlie from San Leandro. They both ride BART all the time. They're probably the biggest BART fans we know. They both have tons of BART swag that we'll add to today. They're going to be joined by Avery, who's a high school junior from Castro Valley, who actually interned with us at BART, and she helped plan all of the elements of the time capsules for us today. So please welcome Avery, Calvin and his dad, and Charlie and his grandmother, I believe, to the podium. Oh, his dad. Charlie, his dad as well. Come on up. So they're going to help us with the time capsule.
I found this. It's an All About BART brochure from 1972. What's your favorite BART station?
It's the San Leandro one.
You want to put the foam train into the big capsule?
We thought long and hard what to give BART for its 50th birthday, so we went to Target. And it's a Minecraft fox. It is not BART related at all, but it'll be worth a lot of money in 20 years, probably, so.
Happy birthday, BART.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, can we all get you all together for a picture? Because we're going to print this picture and put a copy of it in the time capsule, so when we open for our 75th anniversary, you guys will be all grown up.
One nice thing about having a microphone is we can kind of do things that are off script. I normally wouldn't do this, but before I call up our final speaker, I just wanted to say hello to a woman who worked for me for many years as an administrative assistant. I see her out here. Her name is Julie Renteria. Hi, Julie. I haven't seen her in a long time. Okay. So now we're going to close the program, and I'm happy to invite the person who leads BART, who has guided the agency through the pandemic and all of its twists and turns, and he took over as BART's 10th general manager, hard to believe, in 2019. Please welcome Bob Powers.
I'm sorry. I'm new to this.
First, my name is Bob Powers, and I'm the BART General Manager. It's a pleasure to be here, just an honor. I want to start by acknowledging the BART Board of Directors in attendance here, and not in any particular order, but I will start with President Rebecca Salzman is here, Vice President Janice Lee is here, and then in this front row, you have Mark Foley, you have Deborah Allen, you have John McPartland, and you have Robert Rayburn. And so, thank you for taking a shot with me as your general manager and all your support over the years that I've been the general manager. So thank you. Hey, the other thing I did want to bring up, and it was mentioned earlier, and I forgot to mention it in my earlier remarks, is that, you know, BART's success, the Bay Area's success, wouldn't be there without the support and partnership with MTC. And, you know, I just got to go on record as saying that, and I've had just the best experience with Therese McMillan, who leads MTC. Let's give a round of applause for Therese.
There are several MTC commissioners here. Gina Pappin is here. Federal Glover is here. Sam Liccardo. I see Rebecca Long, who is with the executive team, and Alex Bockelman. So I just wanted to give a shout out to MTC and the partnership there. So, hey, you know, no more speeches, I don't think. What we're going to do, what I would like to do as the general manager, it's a celebration. Can I get everybody to sing with me happy birthday? What is the celebration of happy without singing happy birthday? So if everybody on 3 could sing happy birthday to Bart, I would very much appreciate it. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Bart. Happy birthday to Bart. Happy birthday to you. Woo! So look, I'm happy to be here. I hope you all stay and enjoy the celebrations that are here, the booths that are here, mingle, enjoy each other's company. We've done 50 years and we've got 50 more years coming. So thank you very much.
Can't wait. Okay, Bob, you got to get into the time capsule.
So this, if you don't know, back to my engineering days, this is a magnetic source code for train control on our fixed block system that we're having. You know, state of the art back in 1972, cutting edge technology. So pretty cool. And putting in, very simple but very pointed for today. This is a BART 50-year anniversary pin. So this is, Mike, what you and I are putting in here, I guess. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all for coming. It's been a great morning and a great celebration, and we are wrapping it up. Enjoy the rest of the day.